Hi crafters! I really wanted to show off this mason jar mini album die. I have a bit of a confession. So I don't make albums. I don't make mini albums. I've never scrapbooked. I basically got into paper crafting a few years ago after having my son. Before that I was in apparel design, so it was this whole new craft experience that I discovered out of the necessity of just wanting to meet people and make new friends. So Happy Mail was kind of the thing that I went after. And it's kind of ridiculous because I have all of these pictures that I really need to print out. So I've been saying for a while, I need to make albums. I need to document more. So this is going to be my year for that. I've decided. So this is the mini album that I made. And this is, by the way, this die is from scrapdivadesigns, if you can't tell. And I just really am so in love with the way that this turned out. I'm super happy. Again, this is my first one, so it might seem a little basic, but I just think it's super sweet. I used the Honey and Bee paper from Fancy Pants Designs, and it also comes with these foam stickers. But the shape is just so perfect for adding these pictures. I did some honeycomb shapes and then just small rectangle pictures, and I think it just turned out perfect. This is a butterfly rosette from Scrap Diva as well, and I just thought the whole thing went together. And then in here I added more words, grow. So I discovered that you can just kind of stitch in when you add a little thread to your button. I don't know if you can see that. When you add a little thread to your button, you can kind of just loop in a little charm as well. And I am so happy with this idea that I'll probably be utilizing it a lot more in my buttons. And then just a little tiny bead dangle. So the buttons and beads are from Jesse James Beads and Dress It Up Buttons. Then I had this ribbon from my stash. I used some gold to kind of make this this mason jar top pop out a little bit. And you can really see how defined that etching is. I just think this is so cute. So before my Tuesday morning closed, I grabbed this paper, and this is, what is this called? Celebrate from Simple Stories. I've been really wanting to use it for a while, so this is all that I have for that paper line. And then I do have a lot of Hooray, so I think I'm going to try to mix the two. I really love this sticker that says treat yourself. It kind of reminded me of all the little extras that come with this jar, so I cut some of that out to show you. So you have gummy bears and cookies and little bows and candies and little treat bags. I just think it's so cute. So yeah, I'm gonna do a birthday card, and I will also show you how I make my cards using any shape from any of these mini albums. I love doing that. It's super easy. And yeah, I will figure out what papers I want to use and then come back. Okay, so I cut out all my pieces. I decided to go with this pattern because I think it will mix really well with this birthday sequin mix that I already started. And I did add these little candies. I'm going to try to make this work. They're a little thick, and I really just want it to look like a candy jar. So if it doesn't work, I'll change the design, but I decided that I'm going to just give this some height, and I'm going to layer them up. So I do have a trick for working with foam and these shaker dies. So what I do is I cut out a piece of cardstock, and that way that I can stabilize the shape. I know exactly what the parameters are before I place it onto my mini album paper. And then if you notice, when you cut out foam, it stretches out, so it doesn't actually quite fit. So what I do is I take a heat gun, and this is just an old one. I found this at Goodwill used. It works fine. And I just heat the foam. It shrinks, and then and if it might actually end up shrinking smaller than your shape, which is totally fine. So when you layer the foam on top of your cardstock, all you have to do is just kind of stretch it out and make sure that it stretches to the shape that you want. Now you can kind of see the foam is a little warped, and that's totally fine. And we're just going to lay it flat, and we're just going to go along the edges and make sure that it all fits within the confines of this border. And now I'm going to put these two together so it adds the height that I'm looking for. And then I'm going to add the acetate. So full disclosure, and I totally forgot to record this, but I did add another layer right here. So I put the two foam pieces together. It was just really slippery. It wasn't really latching on, and it didn't feel as firm as I wanted it to. So I put a layer of cardstock in between these two layers, and that definitely did the trick. So I'm going to let this dry, and I'm going to go ahead and prepare my acetate sheet. So what I like to do is just wipe one side of the surface, and this is going to be the side that's facing the sequins. I found that it eliminates the static, and I just like this better than the powdered stuff. I just think it's more effective. And I'm going to go ahead and carefully just glue this piece down on top. The other reason why I like adding a piece of cardstock to the top of the foam is I feel like it's a lot easier to glue the acetate sheet without it shifting, because the foam is just so slippery. So I like to prime the foam and have it in place before I move on and do anything else with the shaker. Now, while I'm waiting for that to set into place, I'm going to show you how to make this card. So what I did was I took a 12 by 12 piece of paper. I measured this out. So this is a little over 4 inches thick and under 6 inches. So what I did was I just cut the 12 by 12 in half, scored it in the middle, just made it really easy. And what I'm going to do is tape this in place where I want it, but I'm going to just butt it up a little bit past the edge. So when you cut it, that's going to be your fold area. And I will tape this into place so it doesn't shift while I'm cutting. And there you go. That's the base for your card. And then for this, all you have to do is either tape or glue it on the very top. And we'll do that at the end, when I have my shaker in place and my acetate on. I'll just do the whole thing. It's going to be filled with so many goodies, colors, candy. And then we're just going to place that on top. The last thing to do is just add this little mason jar top, and after this is dry, I'm going to fix it to the card and then I'll decorate. Okay, so this is the final card. I did switch out the bear with a different pink. I wanted the pink to be more candy colored. The other pink was too soft. And I think this works a lot better. And I added the little celebrate. And then when you open it, I just took the insert of this die right here. So this little cutout piece. And I added that here with a tag. It's got a little bit of foam on the back and then it's this little knot to give it some interest. And then the last thing I'm going to do is back this up with cardstock so that it's a little sturdy back here. The one thing that I want to point out is that when you do that, you're going to want to trim the edge off of that cardstock, because that, if this has the entire shape, if you don't trim that piece out, it's going to bump into this edge and you're going to be able to open it like this, not like this. So just be mindful of trimming that little spot so that you can have full range of your card. If you're interested in this mason jar, I have an affiliate link in the bio, so definitely check that out. There's a code, it's Hello10. And thank you so much for following along. Happy crafting. I'll see you in the next video. Bye.